Hi, everyone. It's Angie Rupert, E-2 visa attorney at Rupert Law Group. And we help all E-2 visa investors and employees. And I am thrilled to be speaking with you today a little bit about the E-2 visa, what it is, what it isn't, and those types of things. So I understand that a lot of you have businesses currently in the Netherlands, which is great. So you know a little bit about the entrepreneur process, but let's talk a little bit about the immigration process to the United States. So the E-2 visa is for people who want to start businesses. Traditionally, those have been smaller businesses, flower shops, car washes, marketing companies, things like that. But that's not exclusively what it's all about. So let's talk a little bit about the requirements and how you might be able to meet all of those requirements. So requirement number one is that you're from a treaty country. So the Netherlands is a treaty country. There are many other treaty countries. You can look them up online. There are approximately 80 treaty countries. If you have a passport from these treaty countries, you should be okay. Now, there is actually a legislative update as of the end of December. So if you are a citizen of Grenada or Turkey, there may be a couple of issues there. Please feel free to reach out. I can walk you through those. Other than that, all treaty countries, no problem. No matter when you got your passport, you should be able to move ahead as an E-2 treaty investor or employee. So that's issue number one. Issue number two is there needs to be a business that is real and operating and not marginal in the United States. So what that means is you need to start some sort of business. You could also purchase an existing business. So this may be interesting if you want to buy something that already exists and then add on to it, right? So something like that could work. Buying some sort of software, buying the assets of an existing business, that type of thing, that could work as well, okay? So it can be any business you want to buy or start, as long as it's legal, of course, and as long as it is not tax designated as a nonprofit business. You also should have employees and customers or clients. If those are met, any business will work. So let's talk a little bit about the investment portion. So for the investment, they require that you make a substantial investment. That's the language. There are no dollar amounts attached to that investment number. However, attorneys who are in the know will tell you it should be a six-figure investment. So we're talking about at least $100,000 US and maybe more. So the way that we figure that is what we call a proportionality test. So you have to invest enough to get the business operational. And for businesses that are incredibly expensive to get operational, you need to invest a significant portion of that yourself, okay? So this is where if you have other investors, it could work, it may not. You should reach out and I'd be happy to kind of talk you through some of those things. But for someone who owns a business 100%, or for a new business that is owned by a Netherlands business, meaning there's a company maybe that already exists in the Netherlands and it is owned, majority owned by people with Netherlands passports. That business could start a business in the United States, follow all of the other requirements, and can send over employees as long as they still have Netherlands passports. So that's going to be the key for the E-2 visa employees. It must be owned and controlled by a business that is owned and controlled by a treaty country. And then all employees have to have the same passport as that treaty country that owns and manages and directs and controls the business here in the United States. So back to the investor. If you're going to be a single person or maybe two investors and you both have a passport from the Netherlands, that will be great. If there are two investors, you must own it 50-50 and you need to invest the same amount of money each. If you are a single person, then you own the business 100%. That's great. And you invest the substantial amount yourself. Again, if it's a super expensive business to start north, 7 figures and then some, you may not have to invest the entire amount to get the business operational, but you need to invest a substantial amount of that to get it operational. If it's less than $300,000 to start or purchase, you need to invest the full amount. Beyond that, we can do a proportionality test to figure out the percentage of the startup costs that you personally need to invest. So those are the basics of the E-2 visa. As you may imagine, all of the facts change if you have depending on the type of business that you have, depending on the ownership structure you have, depending on the amount of money that you have to invest. So keep all of those things in mind. I'd also like to touch a little bit on the E-1 visa. So the E-1 visa is a trade visa, and it basically says, hey, I have a business in the Netherlands or in my home country, and that business trades goods or services with the United States. Majority of our international trade is with the United States. And I'd like a visa to be able to further that trade, grow the trade, improve the trade. That's an E-1 visa. So what's required there is ownership of a business outside of the United States that is the same as your home country, and trade between that home country and the United States, either goods or services. So if a majority of your international clients for, say, a software or some sort of whatever, like a SaaS, like software as a service or anything else, if it's a marketing company and the majority of your clients are American, this could be an opportunity for you. They're not worried at all about the investment in the United States. What they're mostly worried about is seeing the history of trade. So in the case of an E-1, you'll need to show this is how many clients or customers we've had in the United States. This is how much money we have earned from customers or clients in the United States. These are the goods and services we provide. You need to provide at least 12 to 18 months worth of documentation. And my recommendation there is at least 6 trades between your home country and the United States, and at least $150,000 worth of good or trades in the last 12 months. So if you feel that that could be an option, we'd be happy to talk with you as well. So, in summary, these are 2 options that are amazing for people who want to buy, start, or grow trade with the United States. We are happy to help you in any way. Please reach out at any time. I will put my contact information at the end. And of course, we'd be thrilled to speak with you. Thanks so much. Have a great day.